I was born in Taiwan. I grew up in Canada. After uni, I went to cooking school. Then I moved to Australia. I was working with various different chefs. I went to Tetsuya's, I worked at Mark. I opened 2 restaurants in Sydney. I was there for 10 years and now I live in Hong Kong. I got my first job washing dishes in a restaurant when I was 14. It sucked. I hated it. I said I want to do what they do. So in 2 weeks later, I started flipping hamburgers for a living. Before people open restaurants, they should really work in one, in every position, to get an idea of how much work it takes. Growing up in a really big family, the only time we really got together was for eating, really. On the weekend, you know, it's not uncommon for us to have 20, 30 people lunches. We don't see each other often, and when we do, it centers around eating. Partway through my cooking career, I had an epiphany that I think Asian food is the best. All my life, I wasn't really sure why I was cooking French food, but what I wanted to eat and what I wanted to cook was always Asian food. So then I just switched. At every point throughout my cooking career is like an uphill battle. And then I opened a 240-seater Chinese restaurant. That was probably the hardest thing I've ever done. It's a monumental task that took 1.5 years to plan. I took on the job because I knew that was impossible. After that, I came to Hong Kong. It's like, if I can do this in Sydney, I must be the craziest person to come and open a Chinese restaurant in Hong Kong. My mom, I remember having this conversation with my mom. She's like, what are you doing? You must be crazy. I think as a cook, you've got to understand where you come from, where you are now, and then where you want to take it. You have to understand the rules before you break them. There are some dishes that really represent my Taiwanese background. The dumplings are my mom's recipe. The addition of sacha paste makes it distinctively Taiwanese. I think it was nice. My mom finally came to this restaurant and she had her dumplings. I remember having a half-an-hour lecture from her, asking me everything about the dumpling, like what kind of cut you're using, how do you season it. And she said, you make this better than I do. And that for me is probably the most touching moment, getting recognition from my mom finally. There's going to be days where you're just completely defeated, mentally and physically. In spite of all that, you really have to ask yourself why you started cooking in the first place. Because there's a passion, there's a fire that burns within you. There's nothing else I'd rather do in life. And if this fire still burns in you, then you should continue. The way this city runs is unlike anywhere else in the world. The efficiency and inefficiencies in equal measures. You can build a restaurant from zero to operational in under 6 weeks. There's nowhere else like that in the world. At the end of the day, it's just food. Just have fun. Don't take it too seriously. Just keep an open mind and try everything. Even if you think it's going to fail, you should do it anyways. Because you never know what the outcomes of the actions that you don't take and the actions that you did take. This is something that's unpredictable. But if you don't do it, you will never know.